It is a real pleasure to be here this afternoon with so many people, and I want to say congratulations firstly to Linda for all the work she's doing on this, but for everybody else that's involved in this campaign, because this legislation is the most pernicious legislation that this government's introduced, and it's done enough for its share of bad legislation. This is legislation that will help nobody. It won't help the Treasury, but all it does is punish poor people. And let me correct one thing that people have been saying. This isn't just about people that are out of work. This isn't just about people who can't work. People who are in work, in low-paid jobs, also are dependent on benefits to pay for their rent. This is a policy that simply attacks poor people and does nothing for this country at all. We do need to actually take action, not punish poor people, but build houses, introduce rent control on private landlords, and make sure that poor people are not being punished in this way. If you think about how stupid the policy is as well. So if you've now got two children under 10, you're very nicely housed in a 3-bedroom house. You then have to move into a 2-bedroom house. But hang on a minute, when one of those children, if they're a boy and a girl, turn 10, you've got to move back into a 3-bedroom house. And then what happens if one of them leaves? Oh look, you can go back into a 2-bedroom house. This is the most ridiculous policy. It splits families, it splits our community, and it does absolutely nothing. But the Tories just don't get it. They don't understand what it's like to be disabled, to be dependent, to be low-waged and be dependent, or to be like the over 3 million people now out of work and desperate for jobs. They're not out of work because they want to be. They're out of work because this government has not done anything to boost jobs and to make sure that people are working. And did you hear Michael Gove? Michael Gove, the Education Secretary, says every child should have a room to do their homework. Well, yes, but how do you have a room to do your homework when you're sharing with your siblings, when there is no space in your household to sit and do your homework? They are so out of touch. They have no idea what it's like for ordinary people leading ordinary lives. I get tragic cases coming to my surgeries. People who are disabled, people who are absolutely at their wits' end, people who sadly are talking about taking their own lives, people who just don't know where to turn. There is only one thing that we can do with this. We've got to continue to campaign. And I am absolutely convinced, and I know that the Labour government will rescind this, but we've got to get back into government first to be able to do it. So until that time, we've got to protect those people that are affected by this. We've got to protect the poor, and we've got to work together to campaign against this most pernicious action of this government. So it is a real pleasure to be here. I know that Yasmin, David and the Labour councillors in Bolton are totally with you in this campaign. Congratulations, keep going, because to fight is to win.